Welcome to Bandits Weekly, presented by Smash Supplements. This is episode 4. My name is Nathan Crosby. Thanks to Smash Supplements, where you can get everything you need to power through your day and level up. Located in downtown Brooks, open Monday to Friday, 10 to 6, Saturday, 10 to 4. Brooks Bandits were at the AJHL Showcase last week in Calgary after winning back-to-back games at home. The previous week, Bandits once again played the Whitecourt Wolverines last Wednesday for the third time of the month. First period was scoreless. Second period, Hunter Wallace bangs in 2 goals, 29 seconds apart. Jordan Hughesman scored a beauty on a setup from Matthew Tyfair and Alan Sherpa, who was playing in his first game of this regular season and registered his first point. Tyfair, by the way, is third in rookie defenseman scoring in the AJHL. The Bandits would go up 4-0 on a Nathan Free power play goal. Brendan Holohan went 54 minutes in the Bandits' net without surrendering a goal. However, Whitecourt was able to put one in. So it was a 4-1 Brooks win on the opening day of the showcase. Bandits were then off until Saturday with a huge showdown against the Okotoks Oilers. Very anticipated game. Both teams 5-1 heading into that match. And honestly, in all the showcases I've ever been to, this is the most excited I've been for a showcase game. Usually Brooks faced someone from the north in past years. I guess the year we hosted at the CRA, it was pretty exciting when the Bandits played Spruce Grove and Sherwood Park. But this one felt different, given that it was Okotoks. They were both 5-1. Was really looking forward to the game, but it didn't go the way I expected it to. I mean, it's always rough and feisty when Okotoks and Brooks play. 126 penalty minutes. Oilers had 13 power plays, and the Bandits had 12. So there wasn't as much 5-on-5 play that I was anticipating. And then there was the Ethan Beyer, Brody Maguire fight. I thought Davide Patella and Connor Gorley, it was fun to watch them go after each other all night. Both ended up scoring. I thought Patella scored a beautiful goal. And the Bandits, once they got the lead, though, they never gave it up. I thought Johnny Hicks was very good in net. I think Hicks and Holohan have been terrific to start this year in the crease. And Hicks, shut the door through the first 40 minutes. Okotoks finally beat him in the third. But, a 5-2 win for the Bandits over the Oilers in a penalty-filled game at the Showcase. It was an interesting night, and looking forward to 4 more head-to-heads between Brooks and Okotoks this year. Bandits and Oilers meet again October 14th in Okotoks, so we'll see if any of that carries over from the Showcase game. Our guest this week on Bandits Weekly, presented by Smash Supplements, is Hughie Hooker. So, Hughie, we're well into the season now, if you include the trip to Karlstad. It seems like we're definitely way into the season, but just your thoughts on how things have started here for the Bandits in the regular season with this 6-1 start.
Yeah, obviously, we're happy to start 6-1, but yeah, still early here. Got a lot of young guys, and we got a lot of stuff we still got to work on. But yeah, I think we're pretty happy where we're at right now, but we definitely have a lot of work to do.
What do you think has led to you guys being 6-1 and just the things you're doing well?
Well, I think the older guys have really stepped up and shown a lot of leadership to help out the younger guys, and obviously we have a lot of younger guys with some bigger roles this year too. So yeah, I think one thing that we've kind of struggled with is playing for a full 60 minutes. I think we've let off a couple times in the second period, and a lot of games have gotten really close. But I think we've been good at finishing games and coming back and just making sure we finish hard and get the win.
Well, speaking of playing a full 60 minutes, it felt like more than 60 minutes Saturday at the Showcase against the Okotoks Oilers. That was a long game with 126 penalty minutes, 25 power plays. What was the takeaway from that game?
Yeah, I think going into every game against Okotoks, we kind of expect it to be a little bit of a tougher game, more physical, but I don't think anybody really expected that. I think you said it was 25 penalties in total. So, yeah, those games are definitely a little tougher to stick with. Not a lot of 5-on-5, so it's a little bit tougher for sure. But, yeah, I think our penalty kill was really good for the most part. We gave up the 2 later, which didn't end up hurting us. But, yeah, it was a different game for sure, but it was fun.
The Showcase as a whole, the game against Whitecourt, the game against Okotoks, what did you take away from it?
Yeah, it was a good experience. In past years when we have the divisions, we've always just played North teams. So it was a little bit different to be able to play our rival Okotoks in a different building too, with a lot of fans there. So it was pretty cool.
So this is your 3rd season with the team. Last year, what a step forward you take. December especially, it seemed like, when we had our players go to the World Junior A Challenge for a couple weeks there, and the roster was definitely cut down. It seemed like you took that opportunity to really take a step forward. How did that time help you moving forward and taking that next step?
Yeah, it definitely helped. We had quite a few guys gone, and we needed guys to step up, and I got that opportunity. I think I took advantage of it. And I think I gained a little bit of confidence and just carried that throughout the rest of the season and through the start of this season so far.
And then, of course, the playoffs. What a ride that was. And then the Game 4 up in Spruce Grove. And, you scored the OT winner in Spruce, but the night before you scored the eventual game winner. So definitely you like playing up at the Grand Fair. But take us back to that night when you score that goal, that overtime goal, and just reliving it, looking back on it now, what goes through your mind?
Well, I just remember that game being a defensive battle. Nobody could score, and I think everybody expected it to just be a long game. And, I think everybody was kind of expecting it to be a greasy goal, but not like that. I just remember dumping it deep, and I kept an eye on it. I was going for a change, actually, and I just kind of stood by the bench. The guys were yelling at me to get off the ice, and Armstrong was just by the net there, and I saw him start galloping up the ice, and it's kind of a blur from there.
I was going to say, I saw a newspaper article that you did after that saying you blacked out after that moment. I mean, you've won now some championships here in Brooks, but that moment specifically in Spruce, is that certainly one of the craziest moments of your hockey career?
Yeah, I'd have to say it definitely is. League final to go up 3-1. If, maybe that doesn't happen and they get one, it's 2-2 and it's a completely different series. So, I think that was probably one of the craziest moments of my hockey career for sure.
Have you ever scored a goal like that from center ice?
Never.
Yeah?
No, never. That was the first.
Yeah, you look at that team last year and how tight they were. And, of course, you were there the year before as well with that group that won in Estevan. And through this all, this is your third year with the Bandits. The same can be said about Hunter Wallace, who was on last week's episode and had some things to say about you, which were very positive. But having gotten to know you and Hunter, your friendship seems to have really grown over these 3 years. What does he mean to you?
Oh, yeah, well, we're best friends. We spend almost every second of every day together. And, we grew up playing against each other since we were probably 6, 7 years old. So we always knew of each other, didn't really talk or anything. But, living here together, we're pretty similar people, similar upbringings, other than the fact that he grew up on a farm and I grew up in the city. But, both hockey families. And, we're very similar people, similar families. And, we spend a lot of time together. But, Wally means the world to me.
And what makes him a unique player?
He just has a knack for scoring. He knows where to be. He has great timing, just going to the back post, say on the power play or just whenever. But great knack for scoring and a great sense of awareness of when to go and his timing.
So looking back on how you grew up, born in Brandon but grew up in Winnipeg?
I was actually born in Kenora, Ontario, which just inside the Ontario border, beside Manitoba there. I only lived there for, I think, 2 months of my life. Moved to Brandon, lived there for 10 years, and then moved to Winnipeg when I was 10. I've been there ever since.
But you still consider Brandon your hometown?
You could really call Brandon or Winnipeg, either or, it doesn't really matter.
Okay, well, Hunter, he's I'm from Oak Lake.
Yeah.
I'm from the farm, so very specific.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell us about your family, though. Growing up, you got 2 other brothers. Your parents, what do they do?
My dad, he's actually, he works in construction, and my mom just works under him as well. So, he's always very busy. But my parents are great. They're super involved with all of our hockey. My older brother, Johnny, he just turned 22 today, and he's the captain of University of Manitoba. So, they're just starting up their year too, and, so he's doing well there. And then I also have a younger brother, Winston. He's big into lacrosse and squash. He's actually really good at both. So a little bit of a different path than my brother and I, but he seems to be having fun.
Great stuff. Johnny played a lot of games in the Western League, 239, Brandon, and then was the captain up in PG, and as you said, at U of M. What does his relationship mean to you in hockey and in life?
Yeah, we're super close. I mean, we've always been super competitive with each other. I think up until we were probably late teenagers, we used to fight all the time with everything, playing hockey, basketball, basically anything we could find to fight about, we would fight about. But yeah, we definitely get along a little bit better now. We both have memberships at the same golf course, so we did that a lot this year, golfed a lot, and skated together in the summer. So yeah, we spend a lot of time together.
I mean, I always find your best friends, sometimes you have to have those moments where you fight. Do you and Wally ever fight?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Looking forward now to the season. It's off and running. What do you like about where this team's heading right now?
Well, I think we got a huge head start with going to Sweden, not just hockey-wise, but I think we all really bonded a lot, spend a lot of time together. And I think that's one of the special things about Brooks is, you're in a town of 15,000 people. There's not a whole lot to go and do unless you want to drive to Medhat or Calgary. But yeah, basically forces you to, spend time with everybody and get closer with everybody, which is really good. I think it's huge for our team. But yeah, I think going forward, we got a lot of work to do on the ice. But yeah, off the ice, I think we're super tight, and that gives us a huge advantage. Yeah, I got a big home game coming up here on Friday, and yeah, it'll be great to see all the fans out here.
I mean, this is your third year in the league now, so you kind of know the rhythm of the season, and it always seems to me like September's crazy because you're starting everything off. You don't know, there's going to be cuts and the pressure on the players, and everyone's running around trying to get everything going. And then you have the showcase, so that adds another layer. It seems like October those starts, and then you just get into the natural flow of the regular season. Does that feel the same down there?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I think, all 3 years I've been here, the first year was a little bit different. We were pretty gifted. We had some gifted players who really knew how to put the puck in the back of the net, and we could just kind of always outscore our problems. But these past 2 years, especially at the start of the year, we've kind of struggled with scoring 5-on-5. Even this year, we've just struggled scoring in general.
Well,
but,
we didn't have any time 5-on-5.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, I think everything will come with time. Same last year. We struggled with scoring 5-on-5 at the start of the year, but definitely got better at that as the season went along, and I think we'll do the same this year.
Great stuff, Hughie. Thanks so much for jumping on the podcast with us, and looking forward to maybe getting you on again this year.
Yeah, thank you, Crosby. Appreciate it.
That's defenseman Hughie Hooker. Our thanks to Hughie Hooker for joining us on episode 4 of Bandits Weekly, presented by Smash Supplements. Some news and notes from the Bandit world. Congratulations goes out to our captain, Nick DeGraves. He was just named the AJHL Player of the Week, putting up a goal and 5 assists at the showcase. He's the first Bandit this season to win a Player of the Week award, so congratulations, Captain. Shout out to our 36 Bandits alumni that are on NCAA Division I hockey teams. The college hockey season begins this weekend. Guys, I'm looking forward to, of course, our freshmen that played here last year and won, Aiden Fink at Penn State, Hudson Malinowski at Providence. It's going to be really fun to see all the different ones. And I went through all the teams' rosters and found 36 different Bandits alumni on NCAA Division I teams. So that's crazy. Wishing them all the best here as the season kicks off this weekend. Just a reminder that the Brooks Bandits present Brett Kissel Saturday, October 28th here at the CRA. Tickets available at Show Pass. You can also get them at the Brooks Safeway. And we're going to try and get Brett on the podcast here before the concert on the 28th. But it's going to be a great night with Kissel here at the CRA. He's a huge hockey fan, and looking forward to chatting with him about music and hockey if we can get him on. This weekend for the Brooks Bandits, 2 home games. So no bus trips this week for the Bandits. Friday night, they'll host the Drayton Valley Thunder. We saw the Thunder back on the opening day of the regular season. We were up at the Omniplex, a 2-1 win for Brooks over the Thunder. So that's Friday night's matchup presented by the Brick. The Thunder are 2-5. They don't play this week until that Friday game. They went 1-1 at the showcase. They had an overtime win against the Bonnyville Pontiacs. Bandits then host the Fort McMurray Oil Barons on Monday, October 9th. That's a 4 o'clock game. Free tickets for fans under the age of 18. There'll be the post-game skate with the Bandits afterwards. Bandits haven't played Fort Mac yet, so it'll be the first of 4. We're already making a trip up to Fort Mac later this month. So we'll get 2 looks here quickly against the Oil Barons, who are 2-5. They'll have 2 games against Sherwood Park, though, before they come play Brooks next Monday. So that's what's coming up this weekend at the CRA for the Bandits. Going to be a great week. Thanks to Hughie Hooker. Thank you for listening. This has been Bandits Weekly.